Are y'all ready for the new year? We are counting down our final hours for the year of 2022. 2023, guys, is literally around the corner waiting on us. Like, what's up? I don't know about y'all, but I feel like the older I get, the more I become like, my mom. The more I see the things that the adults in my life, like, my mom, my grandma, my aunts, close friends or family, they would sit around and talk all the time about things that didn't make much sense to me then or wasn't all the way clear, that now is just like so vivid. Like, I feel like I think just like them now. I am like, I feel like the time has speeded up. Like, what is going on? Years never went by this fast to me. And of course, we know we still got the same amount of days in the year, but I feel like the more responsibility we have as we get older, the less time in a day we have to just sit back and enjoy, right? Everything is on go mode. So it feels like the clock is speeding up. It feels like things are, beginning to go so fast. So I'm just like, wow, like, oh my goodness, what am I supposed to do? There's so many things that I wanted to get done, so many things that I wanted to accomplish that I haven't been able to check off yet, right? So I'm like, you know what? This year, the word for me in 2023 is intentional. I am going to be so intentional about every single thing that I do, because I realize that the clock do not stop, right? A lot of us believe we have more hours than we actually have allotted to us. And the reality is we take time for granted when none of us actually even know how much of it we have left. Right? So I'm learning to live more in a moment. I'm learning to appreciate more of my now. And I'm learning to be intentional about my time, because it cannot be replaced, right? Once it's gone, it's gone. It is on a linear scale. It will not return to you. So what I'm doing now is I'm appreciating my time more for the precious gift that it really is, right? So I know a lot of people like to start the new year off, with resolutions and goals and visions and dreams. And then halfway there, you start getting lethargic and you start becoming complacent. And a lot of those things end up never getting done. So what I did in the year of 2022 was I went and I constructed a woman empowerment purpose planner. Woman empowerment is one of my passions in life. I want to help to transition women from a place of being stuck into beginning to thrive in their purpose. I believe that purpose is not found, it's developed, because it's already in you. So it is a calling on my life to help develop that purpose that already lies in, those beautiful women that are out there in the world. So if you're looking to develop your purpose, I invite you to, reach out to me and we can work together on getting you to thriving in your lane and, just doing more of the things that make your heart smile, that, makes your day more joyful and make you want to, just go out and go at life and give it your all and actually be content in doing so. But the purpose of this video today is because with me having the mindset of being more intentional in the year of 2023, I want to put this woman empowerment purpose planner, I want to put it to use. I've actually already been doing mine, but I want to be, more direct in my approach in life, starting with the year of 2023. And I want to invite you all to do that with me. So starting the year off, we're going to start the year off running. We're kicking the door in. We're going hard and we're going to give it all that we got. So the title of what I have for you today is Planning with Purpose in 2023. And I want to teach you the importance behind doing proper planning in regards to your vision, your dreams, and your goals. I believe that a lot of the biggest mistakes that we make is a result of haste, right? Just doing things in the spur of the moment, doing things because of how we feel, letting our emotions dictate to us, right? Letting what's happening around us drive us and, rob us of our time because we get so consumed with the things that is happening around us. A lot of times we can have it in our minds to do one thing, but once we get out there and we see what's happening outside, or once we get on our phone and we get so engulfed in what's happening on social media, our minds become distracted, and before long we put ourselves on a back burner. Well, this is the year that we move ourselves to the front. This is the year of self-care. This is the year of personal development. This is the year where our purpose become a reality, right? Because we are going to start initiating the actual work to get done what it is that we desire to see accomplished in our lives. The Bible has a scripture that says a wise man give thought to his steps, meaning he's thinking about it prior to doing it, not doing it and then thinking about it later, because that's where a lot of regret will come from. That's where a lot of mistakes happen, when you start doing things without giving proper thought to it. So the purpose behind planning is you're going to write out the steps, you're going to make a strategy, you're going to make a plan for what it is that you want to do, and then you're going to execute according to that which you have written. I know it's a popular scripture that says write the vision and make it plain. That's going to be the first bullet point. I'm going to actually give you 5 today in this video, but the first one is write the vision and make it plain. The Bible even says so men can pick it up and run with it. There's a lot of people that is assigned to help you, but they can't help you until you make yourself known unto them, right? There's a lot of people that have the resources that you need to take your vision to the next level, but that will never happen if you do not make your vision visible to the world. So you have to put yourself out there. You have to write it down and make it plain so that others can understand it, so that others can comprehend it, and so others can find out what it is that they can add to what you already have to make it something that's grand, to make it something that's bigger, to make it something that reaches the nations. Another thing that I want you all to be intentional about is meditating on it. So once you have it written down, don't just write it down and walk away from it as if it doesn't exist. No, revisit it day after day and meditate on it, because you have to make it a part of your belief system. If you don't believe it to happen, then guess what? It won't happen, and doubt will begin to creep in, and fear will begin to creep in, and those things start to supersede the mission and the vision. I know y'all probably hear that airplane, but let's ignore that. Let's stay focused. I actually came out here to do this. This was all intentional as well. The reason why I came out here is because a lot of times when we're outdoors, we see how big the world is. We see how much opportunity and space we actually have around us. It is so important to condition your atmosphere to be cultivating to what it is that you are trying to do and where it is that you're trying to go. So as y'all can look around, y'all see that the space and opportunity is endless, because that's what I'm believing God for in this year to come. And I want you guys to get on that same bandwagon. Believe God for the big things. Believe God for the impossible. The Bible says, according to your faith, be it unto you. So what is it that your faith is saying? How is your faith going to speak in the year of 2023? Write it down. Make it plain. And I want you to remind yourself often to prevent you from becoming complacent, or to prevent you from forfeiting what it is that you set out to do. A lot of times we purposely forget, right? We just, stop thinking about it or don't bring it up. The only time we talk about it is when we hear somebody else, engaging in a conversation, or we happen to see somebody else doing what it is that we know we're supposed to be doing. So we start feeling, some type of way, and now we want to become hasty and, let me just hurry up and put mines out there. Let me hurry up and, do it so it won't look like that I'm just doing what they're doing, because I had this idea all along wrong when it's like, no. You're not supposed to be moving in haste. Be anxious for nothing. Do it as it comes to you. Do it in stages. Map it out the way that God gives it to you. That's how we get ourselves in trouble, when we start doing stuff out of comparison to others or out of competition. You should be your own competition. How can I do better what I did yesterday? That's your own competition. When you become in competition with other people, you are holding yourself up to their totem pole in life. That's how you find yourself on the wrong course. That's how you find yourself going the wrong direction. And a lot of times you don't even recognize yourself for who you are anymore, because you've been wearing all these masks. You've been putting on all these different hats when none of those things are fitting or suitable to you in your destiny, or to you in your purpose, to you in your calling, right? So when we plan with purpose this year, we're going to have a blueprint. We're going to have a layout. So that way, when we look in the mirror and we're not recognizable no more, we can go back to the blueprint and the layout, and we can identify where we went wrong. Well, according to this, in February, I started doing this when, if I go back to January and see what I wrote down, that was never a part of the mission. That was never a part of the plan. So how did I get here? Did I get here because I was trying to do what somebody else was doing? Did I get here because I started to doubt my own purpose, so I started to settle? Did I get here because I'm chasing the wrong thing, or I took a wrong turn? How did I get here, right? So that's what we're going to be initiating in this purpose planner. And I constructed it in a way where it helps to get you started and get the ball running and gives you something to go off of. A lot of times we don't like to do, planning, because we really don't have an idea of where we're going, or we don't know how to start it, right? So a lot of times we got to have things in our life to prompt the answers out of us, right? So in here, you have layouts and you have blueprints to get your wheels spinning in those particular directions. But it is constructed in a way that makes it conducive to you and your vision and your plan for where you're going in the near future. And I want you to encourage yourself through accomplishments. So I'm real big on breaking the vision down in parts. I would never tell you that your vision is too big. I will never tell you that your goal is not obtainable because of how massive it is. If you can see it, you can achieve it. But what I am telling you is, it makes it easier when you break the vision down in parts and you tackle it accordingly. And guess what? When you celebrate along the way, it fuels you to continue on, and it motivates you to move forward in the direction that you are going. If it's too massive in the beginning, it can be very hard and it becomes very strenuous, and that can be discouraging. And a lot of people find themselves stopping halfway, right? Or turning around, running back the opposite direction when they look and see what they're up against, and it looks as though it is no match for them. However, when you break it down in parts, the vision is still as big, it's still grand, it is still spectacular, but now it looks doable. Now it is not overwhelming. Now it is not too heavy that I can't carry it, and I'm walking around bent over trying to do everything in my own strength, when God is like, well, first of all, you're not supposed to be doing that anyway. I told you to lay your burdens down. I told you to lay your cares down. I told you that there's nothing impossible for me, right? So start breaking it down in parts, and don't feel like that's a bad thing, because guess what? When you have vision, you see the end at the beginning, right? So the beginning not going to look like what the vision actually is, but you've seen the vision, so you know what you're working towards. Everyone around you don't know, but guess what? That's okay, because they're going to watch your journey unfold. And to watch your journey unfold is so much more inspirational than to just see the end and not know how you got there, because people will look at that and be like, they don't really see how that can be applicable in their own lives. And that's what we don't want to do. We want to pave the way for others. So in your planner this year, I want you to write your vision down, write the grand vision down, and then I want you to break that vision down in parts of how you are going to tackle it. And as you begin to check off that list of accomplishments, I want you to celebrate every step of the way. Remember, I said earlier, we don't know how much time we have left. So don't take time for granted. Every moment counts. Your right now counts. It was a quote that I had wrote a little while ago, and it says, don't chase the dream, live the dream. Because chasing the dream will have you going years chasing something that you'll never be able to enjoy. So now your dream is not really the dream that you initially had planned for yourself. So celebrate your right now, appreciate your right now. And I also want you to hold yourself accountable for your incompletion. Hold yourself accountable. So by writing it down, guess what? And meditating on it, you got to go back to it. So when you go back to it, you're reminding yourself of all the things that you said you were going to do that you didn't get done. And you know what that's going to do? That's going to make you feel bad. But that's a good thing, because instead of just writing it off as if it didn't happen, it's holding yourself accountable for what it is that you said that you were going to do for yourself to make your life better. Time out for putting everything on everybody else, blaming everybody else for what's not going right in your life. This year we're doing a soul check. What is it that I said that I was going to do that I never implemented? What is it that I gave up on? What is it that I allowed myself to become doubtful about? I want to see it. So that way I can go back to where I left off and I can make right my wrongs. I can still accomplish the things that I want and the things that I desire. It may take me a little longer because somewhere along the way I stopped. But guess what? As long as I'm still going, there's still time for me to do what it is that I said I was going to do. So hold yourself accountable for incompletion. So that was the first bullet point, guys. It was write the vision and make it plain. We talked about making it a part of your belief system. We talked about meditating on that mission. We talked about reminding yourself often to prevent complacency and to stop you from forfeiting, right? We talked about encouraging yourself through your accomplishments every step of the way as you break that thing down. We talked about holding yourself accountable for incompletion. So the second bullet point that we have on this purpose planning for 2023 is, if you don't know why, you don't know where. If you don't know why, you don't know where. You have to give yourself a reason. Why do you do what you do? And I've heard that said so many times. What is your why? What is your why? And a lot of times I'm like, I don't know. What is my why? Well, that's why we find ourselves wandering around aimlessly in circles and getting absolutely nowhere. That's why, because our why is not concrete. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing. Well, guess what? I'm getting in the car and I'm going to the store. I don't want to get to the store and be like, what am I here for? No. Why? Because I need something for the house. I'm going to take a trip to Rome this year. Why? Because I want to begin to see more of the world. I'm doing this purpose planning video for the year 2023. Why? Because I want to be more intentional about my dreams and my goals so they can actually turn into accomplishments. I also want to share that with others that is willing to take the time out to watch, because they might have somewhere that they're trying to get to as well that may be challenging, and something that I say in this video can help them out. I want to make X amount of money. I want to start a new business. I want to write a book. Why? Because I want to leave a legacy in my life. I want something that my children can grab a hold of that can make life easier for them than it was for me. What is your why? I want to get married. Why? Because I want a life partner that I can share with and build with and start a family. What is your why? Your why is what will stop you from giving up. Your why is what will keep you going. Your why is what will motivate you. You need to document a why. Because guess what? When you go out into this world, there's going to be a lot of hiccups. There's going to be a lot of things that you didn't expect that's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of turbulence. There's going to be a lot of people that doubt you. There's going to be a lot of people that you thought would support you that don't. There's going to be a lot of people that come up against you. There's going to be some haters. There's going to be financial difficulties. There's going to be so many things that you may come across throughout your journey, and it will cause you to quit on yourself. It will cause you to give up. It will cause you to lose hope. But when you go back to your why, that is what will fuel you. That is what will motivate you. That is what will empower you to continue on to reach your mark that you initially set out. You need to document your why. If you don't know why, you don't know where. You're wandering aimlessly. Number 3, everything is easier with directions. With no instructions, guys, you are literally like a blind man walking, right? And if you ever look at someone that's visually impaired, what they will do to stop themselves from experiencing disaster is they will enlist guidance in their life. So you will see somebody that's visually impaired have like a guide dog, right? Or a guide stick, or an assistant that is with them all the time, navigating them throughout life. You'll see that they'll implement a lot of things that is verbal, right? So that they can hear it and then move in accordance to what it is that they are being told or instructed on, right? So this is the purpose of having a purpose planner in your life, because you're going to write down strategy, right? You're going to write down instruction. You're going to give yourself direction, right? So that when you feel yourself getting lost and you can't see where you're going anymore, you have this navigation device that you can open up, and it can remind you of where you started, and it can show you exactly where you are, and it can also give you a glimpse of where you're going, so that it can get you back on track to what it is that you are trying to do, what it is that you are trying to accomplish, and where it is that you are trying to end up at the end of your journey, at the end of your roadmap, right? So this is so important. You can't continue to just hope that you happen to come across your destination at some point if there's no navigation in your life. And really quick, I just want to share this. This is not, what this video is about today, but I just want to share it because we are on this topic. I actually have a mentoring program. It is called GPS, Getting Past Stuck. And I was given, the idea to initiate a program to help people get past that place of stuck in life, because every level of your life you can come up against a stuck place, right? Because it's something new to you, it's foreign, so you don't always know what to do, you don't always know which way to go. So what do you do when you're in a car and you're setting out for a destination that you don't know how to get to? You turn to the GPS system and you input where you are, and you input where it is that you are trying to go, and that GPS system will navigate you to that destination. It will navigate you along the journey. Now, have you ever been following a GPS system and you happen to stop, right, and run in a store, or you happen to go off course because you decided that you want to make a stop along the way, but you never changed the GPS system? What does it do? It doesn't give up on you. No, It reroutes and navigates you from the place that you currently are, still trying to get you to where you're going. So I just want to encourage you all that are watching today that you may have stopped along the way. You may have took a wrong turn and be headed in a different direction right now, but guess what? It's still not too late for you. You still can get to your destination. Right? You just have to get the proper instructions now to get you from where you currently are to where it is that you are still trying to get to. And I am making myself readily available to be able to help you along the way. Listen, iron sharpens iron. We can work this thing out together. And God put it on my heart to be that type of blessing in other people's lives. And listen, I have this program set up to where I will gear it and cater it to you for those 4 weeks. And if you want additional after that, you can we can work that out as well. But the initial program is a 4-week long program just to help you to get from out of that stuck place that you are currently in, get you refocused, recalibrated, right? Get you in that transformation chamber to help you be able to transition your life from where it currently is now to where it is that you are going. So I just wanted to throw that in there. If that's something that you're interested in, you could go to my website after this video, www.crystalmetellus.com, and you'll see the link for the GPS program. So you can join that today if you would like to do that. But back to what we were talking about, we're going to be moving on to bullet point number 3. And bullet point number 3, guys, is if it's out of sight. No, we did 3. No, right. 3. If it's out of sight, it is out of reach. So until you see it, you won't go after it. You have to make it visible. You're not going to reach for anything that you don't think is there. So this is why I think atmospheres are so important, and who you surround yourself with is so important, because it will expose you to possibilities. When we keep ourselves stuck and complacent and we don't put ourselves in atmospheres where we can see how big the world really is, or put ourselves around people that have more than us and are doing more than us, we tend to limit our lifestyles to what we see, because that's what we think is possible. But when we're exposed to something greater, to something grander, we start reaching, right? That's when we start working harder, because now we feel like, oh, there's more? You mean to tell me I can have more? You mean to tell me I can go further? You mean to tell me I can reach a higher point? Oh, so guess what? Things gonna change now because I got work to do. I don't feel like I'm at a point where I arrived. I'm still evolving in life. So I'm gonna do what's necessary to reach those higher heights. I'm going to do what's necessary to go that distance. I'm going to do what's necessary to accomplish much more, because I realize that I don't have to stay here, right? I realize that there's so much more out there for me to obtain. So you have to expose yourself to the greater. You won't reach for it if you don't know that it exists. But once you know that it exists, oh, you're like, wait a minute, let me go after that. I want some of that. Let me get in on this. And this is how we start to make it a part of our belief system, because we see that as possible, because we see that as doable. All the sights, guys, is important. The hindsight, to know where you came from, the insight that's going to provoke you, and the foresight to know where it is that you would like to go and what it is that you would like to have. All of those are so important. And guess what? By having yourself a purpose planner, you can put it all in there. I put so much stuff in here. Everything that I could think about, guys, is in here. It's like something special, a little bonus at the end of every month, right? Just to stop you from settling for less than. I put vision board planning in here. I put saving plans in here. I put weight loss journeys tips in here. I put self-care challenges and regimens in here. I put tips for marriages, tips for parenting, tips for financing. All of those things are in here. I left places for you to journey and write your own stuff down. Listen, guys, I try to cover every aspect because, like I said, when you have something that's prompting you and getting your wheels spinning in the right direction, it makes your journey so much more easier. Even if you don't use this planner, use a planner, right? I don't want y'all to think that the whole purpose of this video is because I'm trying to promote this. No, I made this for you, okay? I made this for you. So you're only going to get out of it what you're willing to put in it. Let me just say that. And that's in regards to any planner. Like I said, if you want to go buy yourself a planner from the store, go right ahead. They got them in Walmart. They may even got some in the dollar store, right? But get yourself going. But when I tell you this is more of a helpmate than a planner, that's what this thing is. So the things that you're not thinking about is already thought about for you. You just have to implement your plan within the guidelines of what I already have mapped out for you. The last thing on our list is going to be you are your own boss. You are your own boss. And what do bosses do? Bosses, they delegate, they oversee, they manage, they execute, and they profit. They delegate, they oversee, they manage, they execute, and they profit. I'm gonna say it again. They delegate, they oversee, they manage, they execute, and they profit. You are your own boss. Y'all see it. You are already self-employed. Already. This was a revelation given to me by God, and I've been living my life accordingly ever since. A lot of people think that when I say or use that terminology that you are your own boss, that means that you don't work a 9-to-5 job and you have your own business. That's not what I'm saying. It's deeper than that. When I tell you that you are already your own boss, when I tell you that you are already self-employed, it's because you give yourself the job of doing more. You give yourself the job of accomplishing. You give yourself the job of purpose planning. Everything that you have accomplished thus far in life is because you gave yourself the job to do so. The job that you may be working right now is because you gave yourself the task of going to that interview, filling out that application, going to that job on time every day, waking up early in the morning, going to sleep late at night. You gave yourself that job. That marriage that you may be in right now is because you gave yourself that job to be committed to someone else, to be loyal to someone else, to extend love to someone else unconditionally. You gave yourself that job. Those kids that you are raising right now, you gave yourself that job to do that. God gives us free will. That alone lets you know that you are your own boss. You are already self-employed. So what are you delegating to yourself? And then what are you overseeing? Well, guess what? If you ain't writing it down, making it plain, you ain't overseeing nothing. You just living life on a whim. No, I want to oversee it. Let me see. Let me make sure that the books line up. Let me make sure things are adding up according to how they are supposed to look in my life. I want to oversee. Are you delegating? Let me delegate. Well, you know what? In the year 2023, I want to be intentional. So I'm delegating that to myself. This is what I want to do. I want to accomplish X, Y, and Z by this time frame. That's delegation. This is what I want to do. I'm giving myself a job. I'm giving myself a task, and I'm going to oversee it every step of the way because I wrote it down. We have to get to the point where our time becomes crucial, right? And everything becomes a plan, a purposed plan, right? And I also put that they execute, meaning they get it done. Guess what's in here? A checklist. So you can see whether or not you executing in life. I look back on a vision board that I had made a couple of years ago. It was actually one of my first vision boards. I have several after. But when I look back on the first one, do you know how self-gratifying it was to be able to see the checklist of the things that were on that board that when I made it seemed far out of my reach. I even asked myself, like, I can't believe I put that down here. But I did. And now I'm walking in some of those things and I'm just like, girl, you better, right? So it becomes self-gratifying to be able to see things like that. So you want to see that execution, and I just applaud you for the time that you're able to check off your list, and just be proud that you did. And I also put down here that they profit. You are worthy of reward for your labor, right? There's nothing worse than you traveling halfway and then stopping there or turning back and going the opposite direction. Because guess what? If you're halfway there, the same amount of time it takes you to go backward is the same amount of time it will take you to go forward. So why would you do that? You might as well keep going so that your labor is not in vain. You ain't go through what you went through for nothing. And stop looking at the times when you didn't, when you feel like you didn't make it, or the times where you feel like you messed up. Stop looking at that as failure. That is experience. And experience is the best teacher. So as long as you're learning, guess what? You are gaining wisdom. You are gaining knowledge. And because you had to walk through it, you are gaining understanding. Now, what can you do with all of those things? You can teach. You can reinvent yourself. You can start again and prevent potholes along the way. Your faith gets stronger because you made it through. You still here. You still standing. I know it get tough. I know sometimes you may have cried. I know sometimes you may have got angry. I know sometimes you may have got discouraged, but it didn't break you. It hurt, but it didn't break you. So I just want to encourage y'all, listen, keep going. Don't turn around. You stop for a little while, but guess what? Dust your feet off and keep going. I always give this analogy, when I was a kid, and a lot of you may remember this, but we used to always, do the little activities on the back of the cereal box. And on many of them, you will find this thing that was like a maze, right? And you'll have the person on one side and a prize on the other. And you had to draw a line through the maze to get the person from their side to the side where they get the prize, right? And all along the way, you will run into these brick walls. But the purpose was not for you to stop at the brick wall and give up because you feel like your first attempt you failed. No. The purpose was for you to, guess what? Redirect yourself over and over again until you reach your destination. I want you to implement persistence in 2023. Redirect yourself. But if you don't know where you went wrong because you have no track record, the chances of you doing it again is high. But if you have a track record, the chances of you doing it again is very slim. Your purpose planner will be your track record to stop you from hitting those same brick walls, to remind you of where the end lies, to keep you headed in the right direction. So that is the purpose behind this video today of planning with purpose for 2023. I'm gonna go over really quick what those bullet points were for any of you who are writing it down. Listen, we starting now. We got what, 2 more days before we're actually, walking in the new year and implementing this. And listen, for those of you who do want this purpose planner and are looking to order it or are already putting your orders in, I'm going to get them out to you as soon as possible. I do, construct them from cover to cover by myself on my own. It's no company that's mass producing it or anything. Not saying that you have to wait a long time, because I'm going to get it out to you all quickly. But what I do want to say is, because they will be getting made and then shipped out, and we are so close to the new year already, I don't want you to delay your purpose planning for 2023. I want you to start on day 1, right? So whatever you write down, once you get it, you can just transfer that information from, the notebook that you are currently using to the purpose planner. So I don't want you guys to, just wait around and already throw yourself off. No, I want you to be intentional. So still start on day 1, and then once you receive your purpose planner, you can begin to transfer that information. Also, if this video, was helpful to you, if it blessed you in any way, and it's something that you would like me to revisit, quarterly, just to, keep us all accountable and make sure that we're getting things done, make sure that we're not going off track or being distracted. If you just need that encouragement, that motivation, that empowerment to continue, just comment on this video and let me know, and I'll take those things into consideration. Just let me know that it's beneficial to you. Let me know that it's helpful. I don't want to be, doing things just to be doing it, twiddling my thumbs just to be, or out there just putting stuff just to be seen. No, I want to be a person that transforms lives. That is my purpose. So if this is an avenue that is doing just that, I will continue on. So you guys have to let me know. But let's go over those bullet points. Those bullet points was: write the vision and make it plain. Make it a part of your belief system. Meditate on the mission. Remind yourself often to prevent complacency and to stop yourself from quitting and forfeiting. Encourage yourself through accomplishments every step of the way. Break it down in parts and then celebrate. Hold yourself accountable for incompletion. You need to see what it is that you said that you was going to do, so you can know what hasn't been done yet, so that you can get back to it and get those things done. We're not giving ourselves no passes this year. We're holding ourselves accountable so that we can reach higher heights in life. If you don't know why, you don't know where. You have to give yourself a reason. You have to give yourself something that's going to push you to continue forward in the midst of adversity, right? Everything is easier with directions. If you were making a cake, what would you do? You would turn the box over and you would read the directions. If you was putting together a shelf, what will you do? You will pull out that little pamphlet that it comes with, and you will read the instructions. Same thing with your purpose planner, right? You want to make it a manual that you can reflect on to make sure that you are doing things correctly. All of those things that I just gave an example for, you can try doing them without the directions. You can try doing it without the instructions, right? But guess what? You risk it not coming out the way it's supposed to, and you also make your job way harder than it needs to be. Instructions and directions make life easier, so why not make your life easier? If it's out of sight, it is out of reach. You will not grab after something that you do not know is there. But if you see it, you can have it, right? You are your own boss. And what do bosses do? They delegate, they oversee, they manage, they execute, and they profit. This year, 2023, by the time we get to the end of it, I don't know about you, but I want to see profit. I want to see fruit from all that I am doing, from every seed that I am planting. And I am going to be intentional to see it through, and I am going to mark it down every step of the way, because I want to be able to celebrate every single accomplishment. So guys, that is the reason for planning with purpose in the year of 2023. I invite you to join this journey with me, starting off with January the 1st, 2023. We going in, we going hard, and it is going to pay off big time in the end. That's my confession. So if you want to join me, let's do this. All right, y'all. Have a blessed day. Bye.